It gets tiring to see the same formula used for every big release. Most of it just feels like a list of tasks. I've been hunting for stuff that operates on a different frequency. Games where the design is centered on the physical response and the speed of the loop. Not necessarily a traditional rhythm game, but a big one. It's a playable pop album, straight up. Slice through obstacles with a glowing sword at 100 miles an hour. The energy is pure arcade, neon highways, and a big thumping soundtrack. And if I am being real, it's a wild way to process a breakup. Is it cheaper than therapy? Probably, but the game works. It's an excellent experience, and the momentum it maintains is just wild. If that neon-soaked speed is too much, find a complete detox in Journey. This game is for anyone tired of messy UI elements dumping all over the screen. Slide down sand dunes. Use these odd cloth mechanics to fly over large gaps. You run into other players, but you can't talk. You just chirp at them. Usually, anonymous internet stuff just ends up with some person screaming at you. And truthfully, I try to avoid that entirely. But Journey is different. It's peaceful. It's an intimate little game that peels away everything messy to give you something really stellar. Trade that serene desert for a chaotic wood chipper. Nex Machina completely weaponizes your muscle memory. It's a twin-stick shooter where you drown in fluorescent lasers. You have a fraction of a second to react before the entire screen explodes into shrapnel. My brain is usually completely cooked after 10 minutes of this, but the rush is undeniable. Act entirely on instinct. It's brutal, fast, and the execution is flawless. That same brand of high-speed reflex testing defines Fury. If you like extremely punishing games, you have to try this. It rips out all the normal bad guys and just gives you boss fights. Dodge large walls of projectiles, and then immediately lock swords in close combat. It feels exactly like trying to defuse a live bomb while running full sprint on a treadmill. Asking a human brain to process that without overheating is almost impossible, but that's exactly why it's great. It's extremely demanding, but it's fair. Slow down and swap the combat for quiet existential dread. Night in the Woods is a high-priority adventure game hiding a really heavy psychological story behind a cozy autumnal look. Run around your hometown rooftops, smash light bulbs with your friends, and try to steer clear of the fact that your life is a bit stalled out. I didn't boot this up expecting a cartoon cat to look into my own failures, but here we are. The atmosphere is excellent, the dialogue is harshly honest, and it captures that early 20s weirdness to a T.
And in the arena, there will
swing back to pure kinetic chaos with Rollerdrome. This is extreme sports crossed with arena combat. Nail a backflip off a halfpipe just to reload your guns and shoot heavily armored gladiators. If you drop your speed, you are dead. It's just this constant cyclone of movement. Why would anyone play a regular skating game after this? Doing a 720 while dodging a heat-seeking missile is just a better way to spend an afternoon. It hijacks your nervous system, and it is a lot of fun. If you prefer physics and space to arena violence, Outer Wilds is a mandatory play. Pilot a rickety little ship around a hostile solar system where every 20 minutes the sun explodes and resets the timeline. You have to figure out how gravity works, how these planets fall apart, and how to solve the big mystery before you get wiped out again. Attempting a calculated lunar landing is hard enough without the universe erasing your progress. I really can't say more without ruining it. Just play it. The solar system gets even more dangerous in Risk of Rain 2. It is a completely wild survival loop. Land on a desolate planet, shoot monsters, grab items, and watch everything start scaling mathematically out of control. Eventually, you can't even find your character on the monitor because there are so many exploding particle effects and huge numbers flying everywhere. Staring at homing missiles for an hour will probably strain your retinas, but the power trip is worth it. Peel away the power trip for something that feels totally bleak. Limbo is a disturbing atmospheric landmark that strips away every comforting visual element you rely on. Navigate a silhouetted environment, jumping over bear traps and running from huge, freaky spiders. The heavy ambient sound design really burrows into your head. It's a lot of trial and error where you just watch yourself die over and over in stark monochrome until you figure out the puzzle. A lot of standard horror games feel pretty basic next to this. It's tough, but undeniably effective. Emerge from that nightmare into a huge terraforming playground. Astroneer is all about messing with geography. Use a terrain tool to build automated bases, dig large cave networks, and make sure you reroute your oxygen so you don't suffocate. Is hollowing out an entire mountain range just so you can park your little rover as a responsible thing to do? No, probably not. But the building mechanics are so satisfying that you don't even care. It's a very relaxing game about complete planetary defacement. Dismantle the industrial tools and float away into a sensory experience. Flower is entirely about emotional impact. You play as the wind, fly across these gray, lifeless hills, grab a bunch of petals, and suddenly the whole world explodes into color. Try explaining the physical sensation of being a gentle breeze to a normal person. It's a strange conversational hurdle, but playing it, it's just pure peace. Manipulate the air, paint the landscape, and it's easily one of the most relaxing experiences out there. Incinerate that piece and plummet back into a mythological slaughterhouse. Hades 2 is a staggering sequel that overclocks the original's combat loop into something even more lethal. You become a complete engine of destruction, frantically cast explosive magic, dash through waves of ghosts, and stack up these crazy divine buffs. The screen turns into a cyclone of supernatural energy. Basic immortality seems like a lazy character trait compared to this kit. It's incredibly fast, the loop is totally addicted, and it is a big game. Trade the mythological fires for a puzzle platformer that weaponizes how you understand time. In Braid, you mess up, you rewind, but then the game starts tying chronological progression to the direction you walk. Walk right, time goes forward. Retreat, time reverses. It makes regular straight puzzles look totally basic. Trying to synchronize 3 different timelines of yourself just to grab a glowing fragment is exhausting, but breaking your own brain is exactly what makes the appeal so strong.
Save the last humans.
Go from slow-motion time manipulation to pure high-velocity spectacle. Resogun is a giant cylinder where you orbit at blinding speeds, shooting hard-hitting lasers at waves of synthetic invaders. The particle effects are completely out of control. It never stops throwing stuff at you. Trying to pilot a starship while dodging a million glowing cubes is not something I'd recommend doing in real life, but here it works perfectly. It's frantic, it's fast, and chasing a high score is very addictive. Finally, the addiction shifts from lasers to a high-stakes statistical crisis. It's Balatro. This is an unhinged card game roguelike. You play poker hands, but you draft these modifiers that completely break the mathematical rules of the table. Hunt for huge multipliers, and suddenly a single draw triggers a big chain reaction for millions of points. It's a fast cycle of absolute risk and reward. It's very strange to try and explain to someone why a piece of cardboard is the most important thing in your life right now, but that's what this game does. It will completely absorb 8 hours of your day. just a top-tier game. Every game here has very simple but effective mechanics that can be figured out in a few seconds of interaction. That's why it's so impressive. We can barely master a fraction of these, but the scene just keeps giving us more. If one doesn't interest you, just keep looking. You will find one. But that's just our take. What are some of your favorite games that we missed? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and consider subscribing for more. We really appreciate you watching. Take care.